And we are live. We get some things going here. Need some bins. We have coins. So I'm going to tell you what we got. I will update you with the information that I have currently. And we will get into this box. Now, this box is a penny box. And it is mostly pennies, but we have some nickels. I think we even have a couple rolls of quarters in here. So, the interesting part is most of them look like old rolls, and some of them are taped. It's all customer wrapped stuff. So, I'm actually kind of excited to see what we really have in here. So, without too much, we're going to get into this. Now, we'll start pulling here. And I know we got the overhead cam actually working today, but I will just show you. The camera can get on there. Hello, Poppy. So, like you can see, I have quite a few of these kind of rolls. Cincinnati, Ohio, marked by some specific bank. Armstrong Service. It's some weird thing. But I have quite a few of these and other things in here. I'm very excited about the taped rolls. And like I said, I think we have some quarters. We have some nickels. So we'll get into it. Gear! Well, hello, sir. I hope everything's going well in Norway. Well, yeah, it should be. It's much more calm over there than it is, I think, somewhere here like America. Very jealous of the views and the area over there. America just doesn't have that feel. I've been some places, I've seen some things, and just America feels like home, but then when it's got this very manufactured feel to it, and I feel like a lot of other places feel more almost like natural, like kind of developed over time and kind of built up, like almost like a balance between like the city and the landscape, whereas America, we bulldoze everything and it feels very manufactured. So anyhow, without too much going on, we're going to start pulling these rolls open, see what we find. It's going to be pretty normal from what we do. But I do have an update here for the people. So I need to put these somewhere safe because those are very nice rolls. I started a new account at a bank. I finally sat down and broke down and started calling around to all the banks in my town. And I found a credit union that has a coin machine with no fee attached to it in the lobby. So I went there today and started an account and also dropped off over $500 in coins into said machine. And it doesn't take half dollars and it doesn't take dollar coins. But I no longer, as far as like quarters, dimes, nickels, pennies, I no longer have to roll everything back up, which is going to increase the speed at which I can search through coins. So I'm very excited about that. Oh, some English coins. Yeah, and I know Flip said you have quite the package waiting to ship from him, so that'll be interesting. Okay, so this is a relatively good sign. I will get the camera to focus in here. So here's a pretty good sign. It's not the best penny I've ever seen. It's a 78. But if we start seeing old stuff like this in really good condition, that is encouraging. So we're going to go through this. We'll separate all the copper, all the nice stuff. Okay, that's 78 too. Not near as nice. 69D. I don't see any doubling, but I think on those the doubling's only on the S. There we go. There's some clad. 84, 85, 83. Alright, ooh, you look really pretty. 86D, but that's in... I mean, it's hard for me to look at these pennies and throw them out, especially when they look really good like this. It's debatable, but yeah, I don't think it's necessarily worth keeping. 1980, 79. Okay, so this is pretty good looking. 78D. Lots of 78s. 81. So what we're seeing here is a lot. There's an 82. We'll set that aside to weigh it. 87. What is that? I think that's like a gum wrapper or something. I just scratched it up with my fingernail there. It's a 1980. So it's copper, but we have to get that gum wrapper off of there. Not really any numismatic value there, but it's a copper penny. Another 79. Okay, so lots of early 70s. Another 82. We'll weigh that later. 68D. Not in the worst shape ever. The 68s all kind of look a bit washed out as far as the details on Lincoln. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's further along in the die strike process and they're just kind of worn. But they have a little more relief to them as well versus some of the coins that we're doing now. Nice 73D. Not nice enough to set aside into the BU pile, but pretty close. 61. I'll start putting the clad up so I don't get it twisted. 1980D. Okay. Yeah, so the good news is we're getting a lot of copper. 76. Okay, that one looks really, really brilliant, whatever this is coming up. I'm going to flip it on the camera. Okay, it's an 86. But it looks really pretty. How pretty. Not enough. I'm trying to be more discerning with some of those newer pennies because it's not as hard to find really nice ones. 64. There's an 83 that has some really good toning on it, but it's not necessarily nice enough to keep. Camera's not doing it justice. It's got a really nice like gold tone to it. 70. Another 86 that's in really good shape. Another 86D. In fact, a 74. 73D, 74, another 86D. I wonder what's going on there. I wonder if somebody like dumped a roll of 86s. Here's a 69D. I don't see anything on it, but we'll keep it. 70D, 74, 77. And that one's in really good shape. It's a shame it's got these toning spots or water spots or whatever is developed on that coin. That's upsetting. But we'll keep it as copper. 78. Okay, so the good news is this is a copper gold mine. I'd have to say probably around 3/4 of that roll is copper. Where am I going to put the copper? The clad's going here. Put the copper somewhere else. And then we got the 82s. Sorry, I didn't think about that. I'll find a better way to do that next round. But these are some really good looking rolls at copper at the minimum. And we're getting some nice looking coins. So hopefully one of these has just a bunch of wheats or something in it. We can always hope. These again look toned up and kind of like a mix between like really nice new looking and kind of old toned coins. So 1980, 67, 81, 73, 77, 82. We'll put that in the pile. A really nice 80, 85. Okay, so we got some clad in here. 84. Ooh, look at this 69. What happened there? I mean, I'm sure that's PMD, but that, man, I wonder what really happened to that penny. We'll keep it as copper and move on. I just finished sorting a $50 bank bag that I bought last year. I take care of every penny I get since I live in Norway. Do you actually get pennies? Like, are you talking European cents, or do you actually get US cents? That would be, I mean, I imagine everybody kind of does. I mean, I've gotten coins from Bermuda and all kinds of stuff. So, I mean, I guess it's possible. Welchco, welcome in. Okay, really nice one. It's an 84, 82. Really, oh, there we go. That's going in the nice pile. Look at this. I'll come down on it a little bit so the camera doesn't wash it out. Look at this 1975. The camera's doing a pretty good job on the color. It's just gorgeous. Yeah, that's going in the nice pile. So we'll set that up here and move on. That's what I was kind of hoping for, were some really nice finds. There's a, what is going on with that? Okay, something happened to it. It's got like some weird toning there at the top and some blackness, but other than that, it's a really nice 85. We're not going to keep it. 64, 70, 82, we'll weigh that. 82, small date from Denver. If only that were copper, we'd be in the money. 84, 75, 75, 82, small date, 80, 75. So these rolls are going to produce a lot of copper and a lot of hopefully decently nice coins. I haven't found anything newer than, like, I think like late 80s, like 86, maybe 87. And a lot of the ones that I'm finding look like they've not really been circulated. 84, 86D, that's all rainbowed. 87, that looks like the day it was made. Look at this thing. I know there's some black spots and stuff like that, but it's just brilliant. So again, probably not something I'm going to keep because it's not super rare, but it gives me hope for the rest of these rolls. Some 70s, an 80, 79 that's in pretty good shape, 87, another really nice 87. So yeah, I got a feeling some of these have been in these rolls for a couple decades. I'm not saying they were like BU when they were put in there, but pretty close, it seems like. 87, another nice 87, 83, and 80. Okay. Yeah, I'm just not seeing anything on this clad. That there's a couple pretty nice ones, but nothing that I gotta jump for joy and like actually have to keep. Put the copper up and go to the next roll. No copper rolls in circulation now in Norway. Ooh, I mean it's a dying art, and it seems like the U.S. it can't last much longer here. The party's got to be about over, just because of the money involved. Okay, we got some dirty coins in this one. First coin, I think that's a 65. Yeah, 1965. It's some kind of dirty. We'll keep it for copper. BU 87. 88 with light wear. Another dirty. 66. Look at this thing. Okay. 88D that looks like the day it was made. 77, another 88D. 71, 74. Come on, I would have expected, just even so far, I would have expected more wheats so far. 88D, 88D, 83D, 81, 87D, 87D, 88D. Yeah, there's something going on with some of these really nice 80s cents. It looks like, I don't know, like maybe like a collection turn-in of sorts. But nothing, I think, yeah, 88, probably like the newest thing that I've seen so far. Really nice 87. Really nice 88D again. God, that's pretty close, man. It's pretty close to like mint state, or it might even be. This is going to be an interesting box of coins. 86, 82 small date, 76, 87, dirty coin, what is it? 82 large date, okay. We'll weigh that one up. 88D, 87D, 85, 87D, geez, 81, 84D, 82 large, 82 large, 68D, 86, 88, 70, 70, 80. I know this is repetitive. I like to talk to myself. 74 and 88. Man, I don't know. I feel like I gotta set a couple of these back, or else I'm not doing myself justice. Because there's some brilliant looking pennies in here. There's an 88. I'll set that one aside. 86D. I don't think I had that one. Grab a couple of these that look really nice. And I'll just put them in my rolls of the nice finds. Maybe later they'll turn into something for the kids. 88D, 87D. This 87 is really nice looking. Okay. Hold on, let me put these in this roll along with our 75 BU looking thing that we found. This is where I put all the good stuff. I mix them, clad, copper, because I put the 2009s and stuff in there. Wait, clad. Copper. Okay. Now we're going to pull one that looks a little more modern. Oh, wow. Lyle Akamoto, welcome in. Good to see you. These are customer wrapped. And so far, we haven't seen anything later than like 88, I want to say. Mostly pennies. I do have some nickels and a couple rolls of quarters, though. So my fingers are crossed. And there are some taped up rolls in here. So I'm really hopeful for... It's a 96. On the 96, I think you're looking for the wide AM, right? I'm trying to remember. 92 is close. I think 96 is wide. I think that's right. So that's not it. 80, 77 in really good shape. Okay, there we go. We found a 91 in this roll. But again, this is that newer style. So this is kind of a different ball of wax than the previous ones. 65, 73, but we're still finding a lot of old copper in here. 79, 91, 90, 90, 2001. It's in really good shape though. 92D. I don't know if it's on the D's or not, but that's a wide AM. 96D. This one should be close. And it is. Look how close. Wow. They're literally touching. Alright. 71. So, if you missed it, Lyle, I did say I found a bank that has a coin dump machine. So, I do not have to... 96... Close. I do not have to roll up my pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters anymore. I can just go dump them at this bank in the machine, and they are 100% A-okay with it, even if I have, like, buckets full. I was like, what if you have to change out the bags or whatever while I'm dumping? They're like, oh, it's no problem. Like, you might have to wait a second for us to, you know, deal with the customers and then get over there. But, like, yeah, we'll totally just come over and change it. Ooh, there we go. Here's our first find, like real find, I think. A 70S. Obviously some aged toning, but it's got pretty good details. At least on the obverse. On the reverse, yeah, pretty good shape as well. Considering, alright, that's an S. We'll keep that. 77, 94, 2002, okay. So, yeah, that's going to be great for me because now I can just go through coins all the faster because there's like a gnat on my face. Because that's been kind of prohibitive. It's a 92, so we're looking for close. It's not. You know, it takes me time to roll things back up. I'm still pretty fast at it, but, you know, time, effort, get everything together, take it in. So now I can just literally throw it in bins, run them up in there, dump them. It puts it right into my account, no fees, no nothing. And then I, you know, rinse and repeat. So this is going to be really good for my coin hunting. Ooh, look at that. Check this out, guys. Look at this, like, pretty darn close to BU, if not better. 79. Oh, there's a spot on the back. It's okay, though. Maybe a couple spots. But still. That's going in the keeper pile. Coin Junkies here. Yes. Yes. Yes, we're having afternoon beer. I'm still off of work, obviously, since it's like early in the afternoon. It's been a long day already. Don't judge me. So anyway, this is going to be really good for my coin roll hunting. 76. Oh, look at that. It's a little on the dirty side. Don't drop it. Yeah, the back's real dirty. But it's a really nice 70D. It's all spotted up from, you know, environment or whatnot. But pretty good shape nonetheless. Clad. Copper. And boom. So that was one of the new rolls. And that still had a good amount of copper in it and some nice old cents. So now we're going to grab another one. This one's like a red roll. It just has the big 50 cents. It doesn't say anything else on it. The folds look pretty solid, as in it's been folded and not really refolded. So let's hope that that turns into something amazing. I want some Indians, man. Come on. Somebody's got to turn in some Indians at some point. Did we get them all? Yeah. I think I found an Indian. I think I have. I can't remember if it was on stream or not, but I'm pretty sure I found it. Okay. Well, that's not encouraging. We have a 93, a 2000, 74, 2000, 79... 64, 74, 74. Okay, but a lot of them are like brown. 81, 82, 74. Okay, like, see, what is that? 70D with some damage. Okay. It's very strange. Like, they're obviously customer wrapped, but there's a lot of old stuff in here. Like, somebody emptied out their coin jar and rolled it up or something. There's not a lot of new stuff in here. I still think now the latest that we've seen is like early 2000s. I have no idea. I'm just gonna say that's clad. It feels clad. 91, 64. Yeah, we're getting some good sense out of here. 81. Is that an S? Yep, 74S. And much like the other one, it's not incredibly hateful. So we'll put it up there. That's 2S mint marks so far. And we saved some 80s stuff earlier that looked pretty good. Probably somewhat of a waste of time, but you know how that goes. 80, 80, 87, 97, 80, what's that? 70D, okay. So I need to get me some junky stuff going on soon. I need to put up an order. Junky, man, are you busy? And don't take this the way it sounds, but like usually I see you around often, first of all, and like the Sunday morning streams and like some of your standalone auctions. I know they're not always super lucrative, but I have been looking around and missing those recently. I'm assuming 62D that you have like some stuff going on, much like myself, and you know it's just time prohibitive to be able to jump on the YouTubes. But I do want you to know that you're missed, and a lot of your deals are missed as well. I know we emailed back and forth. I had a lot going on at that time. I'm trying to get something made by Kevin. I'm waiting on a response back from that. There was that charity stream auction for the Reedies. I knew that was coming, and I was going to try to do a lot for that. But, yeah, I think I'm in for some Canadian now. So I will drop you an email and see what you have going on. But I definitely missed the Sunday morning chats. Copper's getting pretty deep down here. It's maybe not 50-50. Okay, so here's another one of these old rolls with the writing on it, the Armstrong. Very interesting. Maybe we'll jump into some nickels soon. Try to break the monotony. Okay, this looks a lot like Yeah, just busy. Pre-COVID levels. That's never great. I'm switching positions as well currently, and I'm going to go back to like a real schedule, as if I don't have one now, but I think you get my drift. And that's going to be a bit of a change, but I think in the long run it's going to be better because it'll be more stable and I will have more free time, I think, like at the end of the day. And quite possibly, I'm going to look into this, I'm going to be able to legitimately schedule streams like this. Like, there'll be coin hunts on, I don't know, Thursday every week or something to that effect, to where I can kind of make sure that I can make it and there's not going to be a whole lot of anything that would keep me from it. That's kind of the goal, part of the goal with that. Obviously, the position itself just seems better for me and my family, first and foremost, but some of those other benefits hopefully shine through as well. 71, 86, 70, 85, 76. Yeah, I mean, it's at minimum 70D. It's great for copper. It's another really nice 88, 82. At the very least, these are some good rolls for copper. 65. There's a decent 75, but not nice enough to keep. 80, 60. Yeah, there's something going on with all these BU 80 cents in here. There's a lot of them. And I'm being very picky when I grabbed out those ones earlier. But there's a lot of them. Like, almost everything that comes through that's BU is right there in that mid to late 80s. Oh, clad, copper. Alright, we got lots of pennies, and I'm going to be on here for a while. So, let's jump into some of the nickels. So this is, come on camera, that's what we're looking at on the nickels. Coin Container Products, it has a P.O. box, Merchandise Mart, Chicago, Illinois. Blah, 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 blah. So they're nickels. We're switching it up here, which I guess I'll just throw these in like another bin. Let's see what we got in nickels. And this is not a tape roll, so that's good, I think. We do have some taped, so okay. 99, 1990, 95, 2000. Okay, so maybe not as great as we were hoping. 2003 Philly, 88, 99. Alright. 70D, 94, 89. 2004 Louisiana Purchase, something with gum on it. It's a 74D. If you're not up to date on my nickel book, we're looking for, I think there's like an S54S or something, and basically everything else we're looking for is before that. So I know if we're not into the 50s, it's pretty much a guarantee that we don't need it. 81, 93. Okay. This turned out to be a bit of a disappointment. I had hoped that we would find more old stuff. I am seeing like lots of, well, there's a 68S. Yeah, but you see a lot of these. It's heavily worn. It's nothing to write home about. 99D 2001. So we're just going to scratch this one up to the game, and that's okay. So more circulated stuff looking like on that nickel roll. Not a whole lot of anything specific. It did seem to be a lot of 80s though. So I don't know. That might solidify the idea that some of these rolls have just been sitting in someone's house since around the 80s. It's quite possible. Yeah, you better get back to streaming soon, because I miss you. Definitely miss you. But hey, work brings in guaranteed money, right? Or at least predictable money. So, oh man, that 87 is starting to tone up. It's got a nick on the back though. Almost kept it. Almost kept it. Like, look at this. This whole pile right here is all 84 through like 88. Just to give you an idea. 87. Ooh, there's a really nice 72. That's super nice. We're putting that in the super nice pile. Great looking coin. Very minimal wear. Not the best strike on the obverse. It's got a lot of that kind of, post run die wear. Kind of soft details a little bit, but still really good shape for its year. So we'll set that aside. We have to weigh up these 82s before too long as well. They're going to start piling up. So I'm also feeling like somebody put these up and it must have been a collector, because I feel like with all of these coins that we've seen in here so far, we would have run into a wheat by now. So I'm kind of thinking whoever put these up knew what they were doing and separated out the wheats. That's my thought anyway. Alright, 69, what? It's like damaged. D. Okay. Copper at the least. 68D. Wait, is that an S? Yep, another 74S. Okay. I knew this was going to be a good batch. I was super happy when I was like, hey, because what happened was there was a girl in front of me doing some kind of business stuff. And she asked for some coin, right? I don't know, but a couple of this, a couple of that, whatever. And I noticed when it got handed over the counter that there were those old-looking customer rolls. And I was there at the bank for something else, but every time I go in, I always ask, like, what do you got? And I handled the other thing, and then I said, hey, well, I saw you hand over like some really old looking customer rolls. Do you have more of that? And she goes, oh yeah, this guy brought in a bunch of stuff, and then started pulling it out and showing me what she had. I took all of it, of course. But, yeah, details, man, details. Pay attention, especially when you're at the bank. Talk to your tellers. Ask them. Even educate them a little bit, about the kind of stuff you're looking for. I've heard, I've not been this lucky, but I've heard in some cases, like, tellers will call people. I think Rob Finds Treasure said something like this in a recent video or shorts. And said that his bank teller called him and said, hey, somebody just dropped off some whatever. Do you want to come down here and take a look at it? And, of course, his answer was like, yeah. And I forget what it was. I'm pretty sure there was some silver or something going on with that, but you get the idea. So definitely pay attention, because I wasn't gonna. I mean, I would have asked anyway, but it was noticing that and then knowing what to ask for. And then the lady next to her, when I was getting those, is the one that was like, "Well, I got some rolls that somebody taped up. Do you want those?" And I was like, I said, rolls that are taped up, rolls that are written on, like not marked per se, but words written on them. I said, I want all of that. All of that. Anything that looks old, I want all of that. So I'm training them well. Takes time though. And I have a very, very many different banks now, especially with the addition of the last one. So 74. Craig, what's going on, buddy? I hope everything's good out by your way. Your giveaway win is on its way. My day is going good. I already have a beer. It's Coors. And I'm going through customer wrapped rolls. The pennies are pretty good. We're finding some decent stuff. Not a whole lot. Well, actually, no Wheaties so far, but some really nice, like, 70s, 80s coins. And then we still have a bunch. We have some nickels. I think we have a couple rolls of quarters, some taped up rolls. So I was really excited. So I just figured I'd throw the stream on and we'd go through it. Let's see what we find. So far, best finds are basically some BU kind of things. 92. This is one of those newer rolls. It's wide. 74, 76, 2001, 80. Yeah. The copper ratio is definitely high on these compared to what we normally see. And that's at minimum. That's what you can hope for. If anybody cares as well, I know some of you have saw that I really have started pouring. I think that's pretty close. So I'm still working on it, but come on, quit sliding, camera. So again, the light's not going to do it a whole bunch of justice, but this is a 2 by 1 inch bar. They vary in thickness, obviously, because I'm hand pouring them. And I gave this one a satin finish, but I do have a rock tumbler on the way with some steel media that I'm going to run through it. And I've also ordered a custom stamp as well. So I'm going to start stamping and pouring. And the primary thing, I'm not really looking to sell them. If somebody wants something or I start pouring really cool things, then we can talk about that. But I did sell one on a charity auction, and I sold another one to a person who I was talking about pouring, and they were super supportive, so I wanted to bless them by giving them something. I gave them one poured bar, and then they bought another one. So I've technically sold 2 pieces now. And I'm still figuring it out. I get a little bit of this schmutz on there. And I could hammer that out. It's going to mess up the face of the bar a bit. I'm hoping the rock tumbler kind of smooths some of that out. We'll see. But they're pretty cool bars. All of these, I think, are a little over 2. I think this smallest one here is 2.1, and you see kind of how thin that one is. And I think these ones that are a little thicker are 2.4. I'm trying to balance that out because really and primarily the idea is to buy silver cheaper than I could buy rounds, and buy 10 ounces at a time and, pour up my own bars for my own stack. That's the primary thing. Now, I'm going to try to make them as nice as possible and pretty and all that stuff. And I may get into like the more custom pours, like custom molds and things. Right now everything's still really basic, but I'm kind of excited about it. I've got about another 15 about 15 ounces out there sitting waiting. I've poured about 15 already, give or take, because I like pour, I re-pour. I didn't like how some of the first stuff went. So, it's a learning process. So, only like 2 of the first things that I really poured did I keep. And they went out in the mail with those orders. One was 1 bar, one was another that went with the other 2-ounce piece. And they both went out with COAs to the buyers. So those are the only 2, 3, I guess 3 total pieces that so far of like my prototypes. These will be prototypes when I get around to like finishing them, because they're like the prototype bars. But I digress. I'm getting into pouring. It is actually a lot of fun. It's not hard. It's kind of like painstaking, because like the pouring, people make it look easy. It's not. It's really not. I have yet to pour anything to like a real exact amount. I'm really close, but by being close, I'm usually under. So those are a little over, which I guess is okay. But I tried to pour something 1 ounce and was like 28 grams, 29 grams. And then I tried to pour something that I thought was going to be about 2 ounces, and it ended up being 1.97, like really close to 2, but not 2, so you can't stamp it 2 because, right, it's not actually that weight. And so I'm working on that, and it'll be a development in the process, but it's super fun. And it's really cool to look at a piece that you've made yourself. It's definitely cooler than just something somebody else made, or coins, bars, rounds. I mean, poured silver is always cool, basically from anybody that pours, but knowing that you made one is just super cool. And plus, like the savings there, you can get 10 ounces a shot, albeit marginally low, but once you got the system and everything set up, you can save maybe $1 an ounce over generics by buying shot and pouring it. Now, is that specifically cost effective? I don't know for sure, but I know it's super fun and really cool. So we'll see how the whole thing goes. I'm really excited about it, though. See Happy Chappy. There you go. He's at work and saw the notification. I'll stop back if you're still on. I might be. I got a lot of coins to go through, sir. Got a lot of customer wrap stuff. And so far, it's, I guess it's generally better than bankrolls from what I normally see. Here's another one of these newer rolls. 2001 69D. What did Diggin' Dave's here? Diggin' Dave. I got some customer wrap fun, Dave. And it's going pretty well so far. No wheats. I think the guy or whoever, coin collector, could be anyone, that put these up, predominantly put them up sometime in the 80s, or at least the majority of them. And it seems like they separated out the wheats. It must have been someone that knew what was going on, because I haven't run into a single wheat, but I am running into a lot of really nice, like mid-80s, a lot of copper, which is always good because I always keep it. And Dave, I finally found a bank in my town that has a coin dump machine with no fee attached to it for customers. And I started an account and I'm going to start using them. So now I can kind of cycle through the coins a little easier. And hopefully that increases the coin roll hunting, the finds, and all of this. See, like, look at this. Okay, it's the high camera, but you get the idea. It's a really nice 78. I don't know what the back looks like. It looks decent. And again, is it necessarily like MS or anything like that? Maybe, maybe not. I doubt it. But you don't see a whole lot of those really old coins that don't look beat up. And we're getting a decent amount of those mixed into these rolls. Definitely lots of copper. More than we normally see. So, like I said earlier, pay attention when you're at the bank. If you see them handing out rolls to another customer in front of you and it looks like old stuff or customer wrap stuff, that might just be your ticket. And then of course always asking, that's key as well. I give this specific bank, I give lots of gifts. Given entire silver rounds, silver dimes, quarters, just periodically Canadian silver, Mint State Sacagaweas. I took them some of those 2000s that I had. I just try to make sure that they know that I appreciate them. And again, like I said, you know, I haven't had some giant payday or anything quite yet, but if I'm going to have one, it's probably going to be from that bank because I have such a good relationship with those tellers. Well, so far, it's pretty close to maybe, like, I don't know, it's pretty close to half and half on copper. With these. So, well, and we haven't gone through the 82s yet. The 82s, in my experience, tend to be predominantly copper. There are some zinc ones, and they do exist out there, but most of the time when I weigh mine up, it's about probably 2 to 1, if not better, on the copper for the 82s. Let me check the chat and see that I didn't miss anything. Oh, Silver Lion's in here. Welcome in. It is the afternoon, and we are going through pennies. We did some nickels. The first roll was not that great, so we put it off again. Now, this is, again, one of the new rolls, newer looking rolls, and we just found our first shield cent of the entire search. And then right after it, my stapler's in the way. Right after it, black spot, but a pretty nice 76. We're just going to keep it for copper because of that black spot. 71D, 84. Yeah, there's some shields mixed in here. But it's funny because we're getting a lot of the plaid, right? And now we're getting into the shields, but we're still getting a lot. Oh, so close. So very close. Okay, so 59. We're getting a lot of the older copper. So it's almost certainly this came out of like a change jar or something. Look at this. Look at that. I know that's probably nothing. Like, it's probably like hand sanitizer or something. But that rainbowing on the front is gorgeous. And the penny's in decent shape. If I didn't know better, I would keep that. But I'm pretty sure that they would tell me it's artificial toning. Maybe we'll keep it just to see what it turns into. So, a little birdie. Oh, Silent Silver's here. Just passing by, smashing the like button. Thank you very much. So, little birdie. I know most of us are stackers. Some of us are collectors. And I know some of us stay the hell away from coins for obvious reasons. It's not really cost-effective stacking. It is fun, and a lot of people enjoy it. But a lot of people, stackers specifically, kind of swear off coins because, you're paying for the coin and not necessarily, the metal value or anything like that. But one of the subscribers that I talk to often got a hold of me and they go, hey, what do you think about this new social media thing that they started? And I'm like, wait, what? Like, I had no idea. And it's Great Collections started basically, I'll give you the short version. Basically, at the moment, it's only a web page. There's no phone app for it yet. But essentially, it's like Facebook, but only for coins. It's called mycollectithink.com. And it's essentially Facebook for just coins. Like, you can set up your sets in your collection and put pictures of your coins and, like, literally, like, make a set and say which coins you have, which you don't, what grades they are, who graded them, all of this different stuff. And it's really new. It was only launched, like, I think last week. I'm already on there. And I'm still feeling some of it out, still trying to figure some of it out. But it seems to be pretty cool. Again, it'll be better once they get like an actual dedicated app for it and people can just access it that way. Because right now, what is that? Oh, beat up 70D. Right now you can only access it through the website, but I have already seen some really cool stuff, met some really cool people. Hold on just a second. I don't know who this is. All right, cool. I'm glad I answered that. That's my roofer. They're coming to put a new roof on the house tomorrow. And he was making sure that all the materials got dropped off and we were all ready for tomorrow. And we are, but he was just double checking. Could you type the name of the site in chat? Yes, I will. Let me get you... I'll do you one better. Let me see if I can get you the actual address. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, yeah, here you go. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, hold on. I'm not signed in to chat. Boom. Open web browser. Come on. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so here it is. That's it. It's called MyCollect. And again, it's mostly for stackers, but I've seen... or for numismatists, but I've seen paper, I've seen people that focus on ancients, foreign coins. There's one guy that I ran into last night, and this dude's amazing. Dude, and it sounds stupid. Okay, it sounds stupid, but hear me out. The guy draws coins. Draws them by hand and makes these like art pieces of coins. in some of the cases, you can't tell that you're not looking at a coin. It's like that hyper realism kind of thing, and I'm seeing digital representations of it, obviously, but assuming that it's like wall hanging size, even if it's only a couple of feet by like a foot or something, it would still be amazing to have the detail of a coin. And in a lot of cases, he's drawn specific coins. Like, I'm assuming he's used like the grading photos as reference for the actual drawing, but he'll do a drawing where like the obverse and the reverse are like next to each other. And it's really cool. I forget the guy's name at the exact moment, but he's on there, and I was scrolling through some of his stuff. I don't know what it costs. I know he sells it, and he's looking to sell some of his pieces. We got a Canadian. Oh, yeah, and I was checking this. It's 1970, but I don't know what, but we'll keep it because it's copper. And we got this Canadian. Okay, young head, 64. All right. I will put that up there with the stuff we're keeping. But yeah, so that My Collect, it's the beginning of it. Like, it literally launched last week, so give it some time. But I think it's going to turn into something really cool once it kind of gets application and kind of like they feel it out and see what they can really do with it. I wouldn't be surprised to see like entire auctions run on the site somehow. You know what I mean? Like in some form or another. So it'll be real interesting to see what it turns into. But I was most interested in kind of like a place that's not as dumb as Facebook. Like I don't want to say it that way, but some of the coin groups on Facebook are like everyone from like complete beginners to like, well, let's be honest, there's probably not a whole lot of like super experts in some of the Facebook groups, but like on this site, it seems like it kind of bridges that gap a lot more, and you do have like legitimate experts, enthusiasts, coin shops, like everybody, beginners, everybody all in one place. And it seems like it's going to filter out like some of the BS that you maybe get with like a typical Facebook coin group, like troll posts and some of that. Like, I don't really think there's going to be a whole lot of that on that platform. So if you get time or you were so inclined, I would check it out. That's all I'm saying. Seems pretty cool. I try to go on there about once a day and surf around and maybe post one or two of my coins. I haven't put like nearly, I probably never will put everything up there, but I've been trying to add like a couple of things here and there. Show off what I got. But man, some of the people on there have some stuff. Saw somebody with like a, I don't know, like an MS63 or something. 09 SVDB, like with a CAC sticker, if I remember right. I mean, just like coins we dream about, people are posting photos and stuff of, and adding to like, you can make like your own registry set and all of that on there. So again, plug that service. I'm already on there. A couple other people I know are already on there. So definitely something to think about if you collect anything numismatically, I guess, or like bills or some of that we do. Cons and GNS metal. Welcome in. Metals, I should say. Wait a minute. Don't get it twisted. That's clad. We are going through customer wrapped rolls, mostly pennies. We got some nickels in here we're going to get to, though. We'll see how it goes. But so far, our copper ratio is through the roof. And we're getting a lot of really nice 1980s stuff that I don't think we would normally see. So my theory is most of these rolls got put up somewhere in the 80s and haven't really been touched since. Like here is a really nice 86D, just to give you an idea. Again, the camera doesn't want to do it a whole lot of justice because of the glare, but you see the surface, the shine. I already put some of those back already. Probably enough, hopefully. But we're getting a lot of those with very little wear, which is why I'm thinking these coins were put up sometime in the 80s. Oh no, I think I dropped some copper in here. I always switch it. And I think because of that, occasionally I lose some. Yeah, I dropped some copper in there. Which means I probably... No, I don't think I dropped any clad in the bottom. That's good. Yikes. Lost a couple. It happens. I always switch them. Sometimes I have the copper up here, sometimes the copper's down there. So let's see. We got a bunch of pennies. We still got a bunch of rolls. So, oh, we got some dimes too. I forgot about those. Yeah, we got dimes too. Okay, there's a lot of dimes. And so, dimes, quarters. Okay, we got 3 rolls of quarters, a few rolls of nickels, a bunch of dimes, and then the pennies that you kind of see on the table in the overhead shot. So we're just going to keep going. Oh, you know what I haven't done, though? Oh, yeah, I haven't done a giveaway. There's 4 of you in here. You deserve it. Okay, let me... I think this is the right one. The bot looks like it's working. Cloudbot giveaways. Start the giveaway. Alright, giveaway started. We'll do what we normally do. A couple grabs of silver. Come on. We got Liberty Bell and like a pirate design. Skull and crossbones kind of thing. We will give that away to somebody. My 82s are really piling up over here. Haha. Alright. 81, 81, 80, 79, 88. So pretty good, pretty good. Alright. 77, 72, yeah. These are some nice rolls. $82, $82. $68D, look at that. They're probably just like kind of feeder lines that have developed over time, but it gives it a nice woody kind of look to it. What I miss in the chat? Coin Junkies over there gambling, I see that. $77. Really nice $78, but it's not nice enough to set aside. $80, $84. How are we doing on time? There's 3 of you in there. There's 6 watching. Enter the giveaway. It's free stuff. How can you hate it? Silver. Ooh, really nice 68. All right. Yeah, it's pretty close to like half and half with the clad and the copper. Yeah, I did. I dropped like a couple in here on accident. You can kind of see them. They look like they stick out real well. I don't see any more. Maybe him. Yep. Okay. I don't know. What do you think about this? It's got the spot on it, but other than that, it's got really nice toning. I don't think it's nice enough to keep, not with all this spots on it. Oh, shut up, Streamlabs. Quit putting my name in the chat. Hate this thing. I still got to get in there. I figured out why it does that. Oh, come on. The little heart thing's in the way. Jesus. I can't kill it. Oh my Jesus. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. Telemarketer. They were reaching out to me about my car's extended warranty. I cannot. I have moderators. None of you, well, Junkie. Here. Here. There you go. There you go. You got that now. I can find Craig and add him as well. Cons. How does Cons not have one? Maybe because he changed the name? I'm wondering. Alright, that should be decent. Should be decent. I'm trying to get through these BS rules, like the newer ones, so we can wrap it up with like the 4 or 5 old ones. Oh, and we're up on the giveaway. And boom. Craig again. Alright, Craig. Good thing is, I already have your address. And I'll set these aside. Who knows, though? We're probably going to do another one before the stream ends. It's a great thing about hanging out in my streams because there's... I don't know why. People don't come in here. I see other coin roll, streams and stuff with tons of people in them. Now, granted, some of them are bigger channels than me, but I see them. So people are interested in it. I just don't draw those kind of crowds, which is good. Because I predominantly ignore the chat because I'm focused on my coins. I talk to you guys, you know the deal, but I don't know how I can be expected to read that, do this, and not mix up my clad and my copper if I'm doing pennies. Which I still, as you have seen, occasionally do anyway. But when we find things together. That's a lot of the fun, is you get to find stuff with me if I make an amazing find. And occasionally, we do find some really cool stuff. I pulled out a V-nickel not long ago. That was super cool. Buffaloes, silver nickels, definitely found some of those. occasional foreigns and stuff. Those tokens that came up a couple weeks ago, I think it was a quarter hunt. Customer wrapped quarter hunt. And that was really cool because I had 2 subscribers that were in the chat during that stream reach out, and one wanted one of the coins and the other wanted the others, tokens, whatever. And so luckily that didn't conflict what each of them wanted. And, you know, because I think I looked them up on eBay. They were at least worth a couple of bucks a token or whatever. But I was just like, yeah, like, I'll send them out. I don't care. You know, it's more about finding stuff. And those individuals really wanted them, so they got them sent out for free. It's a 92 wide AM. So, yeah, I mean, that's just kind of it. Like, you know, now, if I find a bunch of silver, I'll give away a couple coins. You know, if I have a really good find, of course. I've done that before on some customer wrapped halves, I believe. But, you know, on the pennies or any of this, I mean, unless I find something really crazy and I find a couple of them, you know, we're probably SOL, but that's why I give away the silver and stuff. To reward those who actually have the time to sit here and listen to me. What's going on in the chat? Yep, of course I will add you guys as mods. If you do, until I get that situation fixed, if you do see the one where Streamlabs is throwing out my my full name, you can delete those comments in the interim. I would appreciate it. I was trying earlier. I couldn't reach it, though, because that damn heart thing that they added to the chat was in the way of the 3 dots, so I couldn't reach it. Yeah, clad. Copper. Gotcha. So the pours really are, I mean, it's difficult, you know, to pour something small. Pouring larger things is easier, and I'm figuring it all out. I hope to get some more, like, specific molds and do designs. I'm also looking into, like, trying to make them, like, completely custom, because anyone who knows me knows I try not to do what everybody else is doing. And while there's a lot of cool stuff out there, you know, it's respectfully, you know, a lot of people are pouring a lot of the same stuff. Like, I can go on Amazon or other select places and pretty much get, like, for instance, and this is not a dig at anybody, but, like, let's just say probably one of the most prominent silver pourers is Silver Dragons. He's been at it for a while. I can go on to Amazon or Etsy or other, you know, places and find the exact molds that he pours a lot of his stuff in. Right now, it's not, of course, it's not a dragon's piece at that point, but it's the same exact mold that I would be pouring in. So while that does sound cool, if I can, I would really like to have, I like to have original stuff. So we'll see what I can do with that. It's going to take time to kind of figure that out. I'm looking into possibly getting custom molds made, and also I'm looking into doing slightly different stuff than I see most people do with their poured silver. So not that I plan on selling it, but if, you know, if somebody messages me or I ever do start actually doing legitimate auctions, I might put a couple pieces up or something like that to add to the auction, but predominantly it's for me. But I will, of course, show it off every chance I get, because I'm very proud of actually pulling the trigger and going through with the process to get the forge and everything together. 82, 75. What's going on? I am looking into refining and recovering precious metals with acids and hope to get a spot where I can start purifying gold, silver, copper, platinum, and possibly palladium. See, now that would be really cool. I will say this, and I don't know enough about it, but I've watched his videos enough to be thoroughly intrigued. Stree Tips. And I know it sounds like I'm saying that wrong. I'm not. It's Stree Tips. So Street IPS, if I recall the exact spelling. Is a channel on YouTube, and he does something like that. He creates what he calls silver cells, and I don't know what he's extracting it from per se, but basically he's extracting silver out of like something else, like some kind of chemical or liquid. You gotta watch this stuff, but it's very interesting, and he, from the looks of it, gets a buttload of silver from it. It ends up being like little crystals, and then he takes those and pours bars and stuff. But like, I don't know what it cost him to do these things. You can watch the videos, but assuming it takes like an initial setup and maybe purchasing some chemicals, based on what it looks like he gets from a successful harvesting, we'll say, from one of these silver cells. I mean, I think he poured like multiple 10-ounce bars from what he will say recovered or extracted from the chemicals. It looks relatively lucrative. It does not look like a waste of time. Now, I will say, pretty sure he's dealing with some like kind of dangerous and toxic chemicals to get that done. But assuming you take all the precautions and whatnot, it looks like it's gonna be pretty freaking profitable. Again, this is not knowing exactly what chemicals he's using and what they cost and things, but based on what he's pulling out as far as silver, he's pulling out 10 to 50 probably ounces out of a silver cell. If I'm, the cuts and everything that I'm seeing are correct, he's pulling out a lot. So what's 10-ounce bar right now is going for like $275, maybe even up to $280 since the price just jumped. You're talking over $1,000. So I don't know how much them chemicals are, but I imagine they can't be that freaking much. 70. We're getting there. Yeah. 999 silver crystals, yes. He's the reason I am getting... Yeah, okay, so Craig knows. Yeah, so, I mean, there you go. I mean, I've watched those. I'm very intrigued. I'm already at my max. Like, I already want to start metal detecting. I haven't yet, but I'm curious. I've already started pouring. I'm stacking. I'm collecting. I'm coin roll hunting. I'm at my limit with the branches of the hobby that I can go into, but that's really interesting. If you do get further into that, definitely let me know, because if you start extracting silver from things, or even, maybe even small amounts of gold that I could play with and maybe do something with, for sure let me know once you get that kind of rolling, because I would definitely be a buyer, because it's not bad to get shot and things right now, but It may not always be that way. Generally speaking, it's a little cheaper than generics, but that's based on supply and all of those things too. So I'm sure in certain circumstances it gets pretty expensive to pour. 1966, that's all beat up. 68. See, that's what I'm liking about these rolls. This is the last of the newer, right? And we're getting a lot of like the nice 60s and things that we just generally don't see lots of. Occasionally we get one here or there, but we're not usually like flooded with them. And in this case, we're predominantly finding those 60s, 70s. So very happy with these coins. Now we're back to, we have 3 of the ones marked Armstrong, Cincinnati, Ohio, and 2 of the just red 50-cent rolls left. So we'll go through these. If we were remembering, these were better than the other rolls. Oh, Jessica, hello, Passion. It's good to see you. We are looking through pennies, if you couldn't tell. 84, 75, 82 small date. Really nice. 85, yeah, see? Lots of really nice 80s stuff in here. 86, 87, 85. Yeah, these were for sure put up by a collector at some point. 88, 82D, small date. 85, wow. That's, we're not going to keep it. It's not nice enough. We're going to throw it to the side. But this one, man, it's so close to me wanting to keep it. I'm not, though. I'm going to toss it back. Somebody else can make the decision. So, it is good to see you too, Passion. I hope everything is well. How goes it, the art? There's a really nice 87. Man, these had to be put up in the 80s. Had to be. 86, 87 again, 88. Clad. 61. 81, 81. Wow. Okay. All copper. Okay. So, still mostly copper. Nothing crazy. Now we're going to a red roll. It is going good. Well, I am pleased to hear that. 97, 90, wait. Keep everything in order. Yeah, see, 2000. So the other rolls, is that an S? Yes, it is. 68S. We'll keep it. The other rolls, as I was saying, definitely don't have anything newer than like late 80s. I have not, in the Armstrong rolls, I haven't seen any 1990 anything. So they're definitely from a forgotten time, put up by some collector at some point. These red rolls have some 90s, some 2000s in them. Not nearly as lucrative. Still finding some old stuff, but not the same as the Armstrong rolls. The Armstrong rolls have Much more copper, much more consistent date ranges. Wow. Okay, I'm on like a 10 coin streak of copper. What is this? It's a Lincoln Memorial back. That's 62. It's 60 something. And it's a Denver. Yeah, that's definitely 60 something. Okay, so we'll put that in the copper and move on. 69D, 70. So, passion. Any new art projects going on? I know the wind chimes are definitely high up on your list, but I know I've seen you do some canvas stuff before. Any canvas stuff going on at the moment? Large date 82D. Okay, yeah. So that's all our copper from that. Oh shit. See what I did? I got too happy, not paying attention. I dropped all that copper into the clad bin because of muscle memory. I'll get most of it. Okay, not you. Yep. Ha. Okay, I think I got most of it. It sucks. It sucks when that happens. Okay, I think that's the majority of it. Yeah. Okay, 3 rolls left. We're gonna get this other red roll out of the way. I have new sun catchers coming soon in the mail. Right now I'm working on a sunset boat painting. Okay, good. I'm not very artistically inclined, so it always amazes me when I see people that are, because I understand that even if it is like just kind of like a given talent that you were just able to kind of pick up and do, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of thought. There's a lot of planning into things like painting and, artistic pieces. So I have a good respect for it because I can't draw a stick figure right. I've seen people do really nice paintings. Like I always watched a lot of Bob Ross because it seemed like wizardry to me. Like he just starts making these motions and he's like, oh, we're gonna turn this into a tree. Like, what? No. Like and then 5 seconds later it starts to look like a tree, and then later he adds the detail and and then you can never tell that it wasn't always a tree. It always got me. Yes, dog. Yes, dog. What do you want? You want to go outside? Do you? Okay, I'm going to take the dog out. I'll be right back. All right, I am back. People who are into art that can draw by hand really good are amazing. Yeah, like that dude I was talking about earlier who's drawing coins it's like at first I was like, oh, like I didn't know if like you couldn't tell by looking at him, like is the dude painting them? Like what is he doing? You know, and whoo, there's a smoke show. Hold on, let me go up a little bit more. Look at this. Now I can't tell if that's a fingerprint, but honestly it really, I want to say it doesn't look like it, but you know how that goes. What's the back look like? Oh, the back looks the same. Okay, so either somebody with really big fingers or something. We are definitely putting that in the keep pile. Beautiful 76D with some kind of odd striping. Yeah, I wonder if I can... Let me see if I can find this guy real quick and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Because, dude, like, these pictures this guy is drawing are... I don't know how I could find him again. Wouldn't it be like... Shoot, how do I found him on here? It's weird because it's like Facebook, but it's not there yet. I need to find him again. It's like James. Here, I found it. Okay, so his name is Robert Julian. Let me... Here, I'll pull this up. I'll put you on display. And then I'll just bring this over. Why is it not? Why is it not? Okay, here. Now it should be over there. You should be able to see it. So, here are some of the pictures. So, like, again, I know it's the size is like a thing. But here's a 1909 SVDB in black and white. And here's the same. It's a different kind of thing where the reverse is large and in the background and the obverse is there, right? And then here's a colorized one. Same thing, or at least colorized on the obverse. And then here's the 55 double die. I think this is like crazy. Like this is right where I was like, okay, this dude's not playing around. Because that makes me feel sick just looking at it. And then, yeah, here's a 58. He does more than pennies. Yeah, here's the 13 Buffalo. That's a really good looking drawing. Again, the same kind of thing, obverse and reverse. The 16D Merc, gorgeous. Mine doesn't look anything like that. So you get some of the idea of what this guy's doing. Here's the 1917 Standing Liberty. That's amazing. So this guy, yeah. So he draws this stuff. 1916 Walking Lib. And, yeah, 1904 O Morgan. I mean, it's just crazy that this dude draws this stuff. I mean, it stands to reason, right, that people can do this, but when I see it done, especially to this level, like, look at that one. He colorized it with the toning. That's just, it's amazing. And so if you look down here at the bottom, he's showing you it's a real coin. This is a 1904 O Morgan dollar PCGS proof 67 plus. So this is a real coin that he's representing in the drawing. So it's pretty cool. And so, like, yeah, this is where this, I think, was one of the first ones I saw of his. And this is what I was saying. Like, I was like, what am I looking at? It looks like I'm looking at a photo of the coins, especially when you look at like the mirrored reflection at the bottom. This is probably the one that tripped me out the most, because I was like, okay, so you're taking photos of coins, until I looked at some of the others and I realized he drew this. Like, that is just out of my mind. Like, I can't fathom somebody being this talented to draw something like this. And he only started doing this, I think, he said, like, last year. What was that one? I don't know. Oh, maybe that's the guy's name who owns the coin. Yeah, because, again, it's a PC... MS69, something high relief, wide rim. I can't tell, that writing's small, but you get the idea. So it's super cool what this guy does, and that's just some of it. But then you kind of see some of it here that we went through, and then he's got videos of his work. He's got videos of him drawing them, so that people know that he's really drawing these things by hand. Again, I don't know what he charges, but I had this idea. Now, none of my coins are quite that worthy, but I think it would be really interesting to see him do a coin that's not as MS, right? Theoretically. But, like, let's just say my 1916D. Or I do have some really nice Morgans and things. It'd be really cool to send him one, right? Have him draw it up, and then try to incorporate his drawing in some kind of like wall display with the coin included in it. So, like, you can see, like, there's the coin, assume it's graded or whatever, off in like the corner, but then the main portion of the wall design is his art there, where you're quite literally seeing a larger version of the coin. You can really look at the detail. I know it's not an exact copy, but, like, it's about the same as getting that the PCGS, whatever they call that photo taking that they do. I forget, there's a name for it, but they take really good photos of the coins for the archives, and it's essentially the same as getting that kind of blown up in large format. But in this case, it's art because the guy drew it. So I've thought about doing something like that. I haven't reached out to him yet about pricing, but I'll probably get something from him at some time. It would just be better, I feel like, if it's actually a coin that I own, that I get drawn by him. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, okay, let me fix this back to Coin Roll Hunt, because you're seeing the infinite image. But yeah, that St. Gaudens is amazing. And so with some of the other ones, like the black and white, I get it. The copper pennies, they're pretty good. I mean, it's hard to draw luster, without making things look soft. I won't even pretend to know that there's like a better way to do that or anything. But yeah, I mean, it's really cool. And I found that guy from the My Collect thing. I was just fooling around on there, looking at different things, and it either came up as like a suggestion, or maybe he sent me a specific request to come check out his page. What is that? And I went over and saw it, and that's where I found him from. But super cool. I mean, when you talk about skill and talent, I mean, that's almost like on a whole nother level, as opposed to, even painting. I'm sure somebody could do the same thing with paint. I don't know what it would look like in the end, but I'm sure they could attempt to recreate a coin with paint. Okay, we are almost through all the pennies, which is exciting because I forgot about all the dimes. I'm very interested in old dimes, particularly of the silver variety, as most of you know. So let's see what we can find. Oh, it's a really pretty penny, but it's an 83. I was hopeful. Okay. Copper. 2 more rolls, and then we'll move on. I want to bust open some of those taped rolls. We might, I think that's what we'll do. So this is what we'll do. We'll get through these pennies. And then we will do the nickels. And at the end of the nickels, we'll do the taped rolls. Because I think it's, maybe there's a dime roll that's taped up. But I think it's mostly nickels that are taped up. And so we'll get those. And fingers crossed there's something in there. But then we'll move from that to dimes. There's a really nice 86, 87, 88, 87, 86. Yeah, these things had to be put up somewhere in the 80s. These are just brilliant. I mean, just brilliant 80s. I know 80s not, but to find like a pile of them in a roll, these had to be put up sometime in the 80s for sure. 75, 81. And I have enough to where I don't really need to keep them. But we'll throw them back in. Hopefully they don't get beat up too much and maybe somebody else can grab them. 81, 65, 71, 75, a really nice 82 large. Another 82 large. I gotta weigh the 82s as well. We'll do that really quick before we get to the nickels. Doesn't take long. I have a really good scale, so it goes really fast. We'll get all these BU 80s out of the way. 77, 85, 88, 72, 74. Boy, see, look at this. I mean, there's quite literally in these rolls, it's way more copper than clad. Way more. In those rolls. Overall, we're at about, I'm guessing, a third copper to clad, but that's amazing compared to what the average ratio of a bank box is. Today, I think we got a Canadian in this one. That's weird, too, because it's the last Armstrong roll. That is the first Canadian that we have found in one of the Armstrong rolls, and it's a 73 young head. Okay. So we'll set that up there, and we'll get to work. Man, these 80s, they're just so hard to pass up. Is that what I think it is? Yep. Really nice, slightly gummed up 69S. We'll keep it. 80, 80, 80. What's going on in the chat? Love the Mercuries and the Barber Dimes. I collected a lot over the past 30 years. Roosevelts as well. Roosevelts are good. I have all the silver ones multiple times over. Really love the Mercs. I have that whole set. Well, at least the basic set. I don't have major varieties or any of that. But I have plans. I would really like to get, now that I know I don't have one for sure, I would really like to get the 42/41. We'll see what I can do about finding that in a half-decent grade that doesn't break the bank. Copper, copper, copper. Look at that. That's just nuts. It's perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. We're putting that one up. That one's just too nice not to put into a roll. I hate it, especially with pennies, because it's like it doesn't really cost you anything to save it, so it's hard not to save it. Very hard indeed. I've seen them, but they want like $600 for them. And that's in fairly good shape. I mean, for an error that you can pretty much see without a loop, it's not bad. Okay. Really nice 87. $88. It's got some scratches. We're going to pass it up. 77, 80, 88. Almost there. What is that? 82. We'll weigh it. 87, 81. Ooh, nice 81. Okay. Clad. There. Copper. Below. Okay. So, Canadians, we're going to set to the side. I got a pile of Canadian pennies here. We found two. That should be all the pennies in this search. We found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 estimate marks and about another 5 really nice 70s. And there's that one 99 with the rainbow toning that I kept for no apparent reason. That's too much. Let me grab another tube. Put these up so they don't get damaged. Then we'll weigh the 82s and we'll move on. And then we'll do another giveaway. Anyone who's hung out this long deserves something. I dropped it. It's gone forever. Okay. Now, thank God. Alright, we put that up. Now to bust out the scale. And you guys can kind of see here how the clad to copper ratio goes on these. I am throwing things everywhere. As unorganized as I can be. Okay. So, I'll put copper on this side, clad on this side, and you got the nice overhead view. So you're going to weigh them. If it weighs 3.1 or 3, it's copper. If it weighs 2.5 or anything in that range, it's clad. Yep. Uh-oh, we're about even right now. That's scary. It'll start going heavy on the copper side. So that's the small date 82D, and it's clad, but there's only been, I think, a few examples of copper small date 82Ds that have been found, and if I recall correctly, it's a very expensive coin if you find a copper small date 82D. So large date 82D, this copper, small date. In my experience, most of the small dates seem to be clad. I don't know why it works out that way, it just does. You can really feel it too. I like to use, there's another small date 82D, and of course it's clad. Small date 82, and it's clad. When you get really good at it, you can kind of feel the coins if that's what you're really, your mind's on when you're trying to pick them up and feel the weight. So it's possible, but I like the scale. It just takes all the guesswork out of it. Yeah, so even right now we're probably at like a 2-to-1-ish kind of ratio. Small date, and of course it's clad. Large date, and it's copper. Come on. What happened? Oh, I'm on the My Collect, and I got a notification that popped at me. 31, 82D large date, copper. Copper, 82D clad, small date, of course. Large, okay. Clad, copper, clad. Okay, so you see there, it's about 2-to-1. And, I'm not going to go through and count everything individually, but it's pretty darn close to 2-to-1, maybe even more than that. It might even be like 3-to-1. I dropped another penny. Not good. The fact that I don't have to roll these up anymore takes a weight off of my shoulders that you just don't understand. It's not bad, and I always didn't mind doing it, but the fact that now I don't have to, and I can just run to the bank and drop them in a machine, so amazing. It's going to save me so much time. Okay, so we said we're going to get into... Oh, wait. We're going to do a giveaway. And then we're going to get into these nickels. So let me get all the nickels out. Okay. There's 2... I could have swore there was more taped up rolls than that. But I only see 2. Oh, one of the quarters is taped up. That could be good. I'm fingers crossed that tape means something. And they're older looking rolls. Okay, so let's do another giveaway because I love you all. And I appreciate you putting up with me for as long as you have. Let's do this. Boom. We'll do another 2. What are we going to find? In honor of our pennies, this is 1 gram silver with a Lincoln Memorial reverse. And the tiniest buffalo you ever saw. It's a 1 gram. So 2 grams of silver. We'll give that away. I'll grab another bag just in case I don't know who wins. Give me the bag. Okay, wow, this bag's huge, but okay. So get in there, enter. I see Craig in here. There's 4 or 5 people watching, give or take. Enter for free silver. I will send it to you. It will cost you nothing. You're here. You might as well. Besides, who else buys like grams for anything specific? Not many people. So it's fun silver to have. And with it having all of the interesting designs on it, it's even cooler. You know, at least in my eyes. I will, if Guerre wins, I will for sure mail this in an envelope across the pond. I don't care how much it costs me. That would just be so cool. To have to mail it halfway around the world for a couple grams of silver, I would completely do that. Who knows what the international shipping on a letter is, but it's got to be way less than a package. I know Constitutional Stacker sent something, I forget, maybe it was to 365, I can't remember who it was, but he sent something international over to somebody, and it was astronomical, like 3 or 4 times the value of whatever it was he was actually sending. Just borderline ridiculous. But he's a man of his word, so, you know, he did it, or he wanted to do it, whatever the case was. But you get the idea. 30 seconds. Ruler's in. Welcome in, Ruler. Just in time for the giveaway. Well, the second one today. Yes, I'm drinking. I have to go back to work tomorrow, like, officially. Son's surgery. It was yesterday. I don't know if I talked to you guys very much about this. I try not to, you know, put my stuff out there too much, but my son did have surgery yesterday. It was just like a relatively run-of-the-mill kind of outpatient thing. It went well. Everything is fine. He's at home with his mother, resting up. He's in good spirits. Everything's good. So that all transpired, but very happy there that we're over that hill and that, you know, he's on the road to recovery. So super great news there. And he just handled it like a champ, honestly, for being 8, you know, and that whole situation can be quite apprehensive, and he was just amazing about the whole thing. So super proud there. Okay, so Craig says, my neighbors were talking to me about silver and gold yesterday, and long story short, I gave them 1 ounce silver bar to help them start their stacking journey. Yeah. And if I get in those situations, I try. I mean, hopefully I have something on me, depending on where I'm at. If I can, I try to physically encourage as well. Here, let me pick the winner. I get to go International Gear. They're yours. One looks like a U.S. penny. Not completely, not on the other side, but on the reverse. So you have to send me your email me. I'll put this in. My email is going to pop up in chat there. Send me an email with your address, exactly how I need to write it for your country. And then I will get these sent over to you. That's going to be fun. I'm super happy about this. Hold on, I think I have to go get the dog. I think she's scratching at the door. So Gier wins that. Don't forget to send me that email with your address. I'll be right back. Come on, dog. Come on, dog. Keep moving. Okay. Now, back to the fun. Congratulations, Gier. That's going to be super fun. International letters, I don't think are going to cost very much, but if they figure out there's something inside, they might tear it open. So, hopefully, everything goes fine. So, okay, I'm going to ask the chat. We have 6 rolls of nickels. Do we want to do the taped rolls first, or do we want to do the taped rolls last? I'll leave it up to you. Because that first roll of nickels we pulled open was kind of lackluster. Here's another Armstrong. Here's S.H. Aiken, Battle Creek, Michigan. If the camera wants to cooperate, yeah, there, you can kind of see it there. Blank, just old nickel roll. Coldwater, Michigan. And I forget what it says. Cota, C-O-T-A, Needs Supply Company, Coldwater, Michigan. Does not ring a bell. Our other one is generic, and it looks beat up. Muscle Shell, welcome in, sir. So, I haven't seen anybody say anything about tape yet. So, what I'm going to do, because the other rolls were kind of lackluster, we're going to open the taped ones first. And see, and this one's actually got 2 layers of tape. It's got Scotch tape and masking tape. Email has been sent. Ah, Gier, thank you. I will get those out to you. And maybe, since I'll look around and see if I can't find something else. Since it's going so far, I feel like I hopefully need to make it worth the while to make the trip. So I'll see what else I can throw in there. Okay, so the good news is I got it open. Let's see what we find. I see at least 1 dark looking nickel, 2 dark looking nickels, and I'm seeing some old. Yes. Okay. All right, I'm excited. 59, Denver. 39, Philly. That sucks because I think I need the Denver on that. 41, Denver. 40. Oh, this is a good roll, guys. 61. Okay, that's the newest thing that we've seen so far. D. Okay. 49, P. 57, D. 69, is that a D or an S? D. Okay, 69D. Oh, baby. We got a war nickel. Okay, so hold on. Before we get to the war nickel, this is a 40p. Okay. Here's the war nickel. Let me pull this up a bit so we get the whole coin. So, this is awesome. This is why I love coin roll hunting. So, it's a P. What year is it? 43p. Awesome. And there's another dark looking one down towards the end. Which, if that's a war nickel, that's probably a war nickel too. Oh, this is weird. Hold on, guys. The weirdest thing just happened. Okay, so 55D, right? Then, look at that. I thought this was old and had been, like, wrapped up for a long time, but here's a 2005 Westward Journey Ocean View. So, that means that somebody at least was back in here at some point recently, within the last 15 some odd years, to put that coin in there. So that's very interesting. Okay, let's keep going. It's a Philly, it's a 53. I'm not organizing these in any real way, but you know, you get the idea. Here's a 41. What is that? Is that an S? Is that an S? It is. I don't know if I need that. Nickel book, where are you? No, I have a 41S. I do, amazingly. I don't know how, but I do already. And yeah, this one's got a little bit of Wheel of Death going on. You see that? The spiral, which is unfortunate. Who knows what that was? But mine's better. But that's still, we're going to keep it. Yeah, we're going to keep it. All right. Put the book back and continue on. It's a Denver 58. Very nice. This looks kind of newer. Okay, yeah. It's a 70S. So, a very odd mix. This is somebody's, like a collection roll, that they just kind of threw stuff they wanted to keep in. Here's a 39, but it's a Philly. 62. Denver, that goes in the other book. If I remember right, I think this book starts at 61 and below. 48. I don't see anything there. So it's a Philly. Okay, this looks newer too. Okay, that's weird. It's an 84D. Regular looking, circulated nickel. Not seeing any doubling or anything super apparent. Okay, but we're going to keep it. They were going to keep it. 1960 Denver. 53 Denver. I think we already had one of those. Oh, again with the weirdness. This is a very strange roll. This one is a 41p. You know, it's worn pretty well, but it's there. It's a 2003 Denver. I'm going to have to check these. Because these random ones that they... I mean, not maybe the Westward. I don't know of any, like, DDOs or anything on those. But obviously someone who knew what war nickels were was smart enough to put this up in a roll, and I don't know why. That's really strange. So that's 3 modern nickels. Everything else is super old. 63 Denver. Okay. 41. Is that an S? Yeah. It's another 41S. Okay. We're still going to keep it. And that one I still don't think is in better shape than the one in my book. But here's a 39 Philly, of course. 52 P. 59 D. 41 Philly. 53 Philly. What in the... What's going on? Somebody tell me what's going on. Now there's a 2020 in this roll. Who... What? Huh? Make it make sense. Make it... Is that a die crack? Is that a die crack? I think it's a die crack. Either that or there's a hair on the coin. It's a hair on the coin. I think. Okay. But, okay. Even so, it's not really full steps because they have damage to it. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. Okay, 54 P. War nickel number 2. Philly 1943. So that's 2 war nickels so far. 47 Philly. 61 Philly. 41 Philly. 55 Denver. 57 Denver. And 41 Philly. If that wasn't the most attention deficit roll that I've ever seen, I have no idea how these 4 modern coins got in here or why they got in here. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm going to keep them and check them at a later time. So I will set them aside for further review later. These... What did I do with that roll? It's right here. I'm going to put these back in the roll. The war nickels, we know where they're going. But these, I mean, I'm not seeing a whole lot super crazy, but still a lot of old stuff. It'd be good, like, book fills for some people that might want them or whatever. So we'll keep them. Somebody wanted to keep them, so we will continue that tradition. And then we still have 5 other rolls sitting here. Now, I will say, the ones that weren't taped up were not as nice as this. I mean, aside from the war nickels, really there wasn't a whole lot here. So we'll see. But I will set this aside up here with the other ones that we're going to check, the modern. And we got 2 war nickels, so we did find silver. Lots of copper in the pennies. A few nice things to set up, but again, I'm telling you, customer wrap stuff can be very nice, especially if someone's doing a collection dump. I cannot believe they gave me war nickels. Okay, so this is the other taped up roll. Now the roll itself is much newer looking, so I'm not as hopeful for amazing on this one, but we'll see what we get. I'm not seeing any really dark nickels, so don't hold your breath. Okay, 59 Denver, 41 Philly, 41 Denver, 59 Denver, 57, 58 Denver, 41 Philly, 41 Philly, 41 S. Nice. 60 D, 48 D, 47 P, 60 D, 60 D, D, 60, okay, 40 P, 40 P, 48 Denver, 53 Denver, 55 Denver, 40P, 56 Denver, okay, 41P, 56 Denver, 39P, 60 Denver, 54P, 54P, 54D, 60D, 47D. I know this is not super entertaining, but bear with me. 47P, 54 Denver, 54 Denver, 54 Denver. Ah! Yes! You know what that means. Another war nickel. I didn't see it coming. I really didn't. The color, I didn't see anything that struck me. It's a 44 Philly. That's 3 war nickels in these rolls. The tape. And so, remember, from the story, I'm asking Teller, we'll call it A, about the old looking rolls that she was handing out to the previous customer. And because I have a great relationship with my tellers there, Teller B was like, hey, I got some that are taped up. Do you want them? And I said, of course, I want them. So I just want to remind you that there's a taped roll of quarters coming up. And this is Greenville National Bank, which is Greenville, Ohio, which is not far. It's over there. Maybe 25 minutes from here or something, as the crow flies. But this is taped up. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean anything, but I'm pretty sure they came in together. That's why she gave them to me. So, 46P, 60D, 60D, and 46P. Okay. I'm going to put these back up. Again, nothing super crazy besides the war nickel, but a lot of decently old things. Some of them not super easy to find, and we have a whole roll of, the different coins. They all seem to be really, average circulation, so nothing like BU or anything, but still. You know, if ever I hear somebody starting to like a Jefferson book, I could, be nice and drop them a few rolls that'll at least like fill in some quick blanks for them. So we will fold this up. 3 war nickels. Go silver. I am super stoked about that. I don't care what anybody says. Like, I'll buy them. I bought some at the coin show. That first one I went to. I bought some. Yeah, when the price is right, it's a coin, it's silver. It fits a lot of boxes. It's only 35%, but I'm buying it. And then one day later, when I have a giant stack of war nickels and I'm dead, my kids can sell it or whatever they want to do with it. Okay, so here we are. This is the Coldwater, Michigan roll. Remember, these were not nearly as nice to us when we did the first one, as those last 2 rolls obviously were with the war nickels for sure. So, we'll see what we find. Let me bring this up a bit because we're going to have bigger coins. I want to get a fuller picture. 90s, there's... what do the steps look like? Oh, of course they're worn. It's a smoke show. 63. It looks really good on the obverse. I wish the light were being a little nicer. But on the reverse, the steps are worn. Like right where you're really seeing the shadows come in on that is where all the wear is. I mean, it's still nice. And we'll probably keep it, but it's not exactly like BU or anything. 2002, 2000, 2001 with some really good toning. What's going on in the chat? Am I missing people? That is 3. That is 3 war nickels. It's quite amazing how nice these rolls have been to us so far. 2000, 85, a decent 64, but it's well worn. Looks better than most I see, but we got a real dirty looking nickel coming up. I'm crossing my fingers. I think it's just dirty, but you never know. Yeah, it's just dirty. 90. The dirty one was a 94. 99. Another really nice 64. Average wear. 92. 82. 2001. Come on. There's... man. The back looks really nice. This Louisiana purchase looks, pretty good considering. But then the front, like he's got a big gouge right there on his chin and in here on the collar of his coat. One there on the forehead, just killed it. I do like to keep those if I can. I have pounds of the 2004s. I tried to keep some of the better ones, obviously, but I have enough that I'm comfortable with knowing that I'm gonna be able to have them pretty much no matter what. Even if I gave a bunch away, which was something I was kind of planning on doing at some point, I'll still have a ton. Yeah, Ruler, I could save money, right? That he's got a box. But honestly, knowing Flip, he's usually on his stuff. I know he's got a lot going on right now, but he may have already sent it. I will try to get a hold of him and see if he sent it yet. But I don't want him to wait on me either, to get for that to come in. So we found one pretty nice 63, I think it's a Philly. You know, old roll, obviously with some modern nickels in it. I will say they're modern, but there's not, I don't even think, maybe a couple of the, you know, 2000, early 2000s, but it was not overrun with like modern stuff. So I still feel like the rolls are of an old variety, but I'm fairly certain at this point that they are merely like rewrapped stuff. So even this is honestly probably not worth keeping. I'll go through it again later to try to pick out if there's anything specific that I want to keep out of there, but I don't remember seeing that much that I was too worried about keeping. Here is the Armstrong Cincinnati, Ohio roll, not taped. Okay, I don't see any darkness, so we're probably good there. 90, 90, 90s, 85, 75. Much less amazing on these. These I'm really feeling are basically just rolls that somebody has put together and turned into the bank. There's a couple older ones like your 60s and such, but not much. Some 70s. There's a 70S, but it's like super worn. I'm not going to keep it. 78, 75. What are you? You got a lot of luster. 91. Figures. Dark coin, but it's just dirty. It's a 72D. Dun, 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 dun. What are you? 64 Philly. Okay. So nothing there either. Like I said, and this is no surprise. These other rolls are most likely just rewrapped. Maybe even like a collector got a bunch of stuff, I don't know, and went through it and then just rewrapped all the stuff they didn't want in the rolls. I'm not sure. But lackluster, to say the least. Honestly, I don't even really know why I'm rolling these back up, but we'll set them aside just like we did the other one. Okay, this is the blank roll. So this one has no markings, just the $2 and the word nickels. Don't see any darkness. Do see one dirty coin. 64 Philly. 82, 97, 2000, 83, 97, 76, 76, 77. Oh man, there's a decent 88 if it hadn't been drop kicked or whatever happened to it. 88D, but it's got all kinds of rim dings. Other than that, the coin actually looks like it's in half decent shape too. What are you? 2000, 99, 73, there's some really nice, like, early 2000s in here. But, again, nothing I'm going to swoon over. Actually, you know what? Throw those in the bin. One more nickel. Then we got a bunch of dimes. We'll probably save the quarters for last. I know the suspense is going to kill you. It's killing me even more. But the dimes will go quick. So let me tell you about me and dimes. I don't think I've ever hunted dimes on a stream before. We got a brown dime. Me and dimes, we have a love-hate relationship. I hate them because they're tiny. And yes, there's some errors on dimes, but there's not a whole lot to really look for unless you're like busting out the scope. So, with that being said, I pretty much only look for silver. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, if there's dime error hunters, like, I'll look for, like, you know, big obvious stuff, but I scan the edges, I might flip through them a bit. Like looking for proofs or something, but that's the extent of it. I'm not putting a whole lot of time into dimes because I find silver dimes less often than I find other things like war nickels and silver quarters and W quarters. You know, there's dimes are last on my list. There is a gnat, and it is bothering. You know, if I can get other coins, here's our brown nickel is that an S? That is not, no, it's a D. Okay. 72D, 98, 94, 80 something, 92, 87. Wasn't 87 like they didn't make like mint sets or something to do with 87. There's a 48 Philly. Maybe we'll find some older stuff in here. Only silver for dimes. Good man, Craig. Good man. It's too much of a pain and there's not enough to look for. I mean, even pennies, at least they're fun because there's the AMs, there's, you know, some die cracks and chips and things. There's some pretty cool pennies to look for. The dimes, it's just... They have been making the Roosevelt dime for so long, they're pretty much professionals at it. There's not a whole lot that can go wrong with that dime because they've been making it so damn long. Big Flip, I think, was bitching about that on his last auction stream, if I recall correctly, about how long it had been in circulation and that it was probably going to get, you know, currency killed before they changed the design, which is kind of true. I don't even like what they did with the nickel. Honestly, like, they're like, oh yeah, we're going to change it. We didn't change Jefferson. We just slightly changed his bust, which now looks weird because it's different than, like, every other coin. I dropped a nickel. I don't even like the state quarters and beyond because the front, like, I much rather prefer the original Washington face, obverse, if you want to call it that, than the new, like, lower relief, smaller bust version that's on the modern quarters. I just don't, it just doesn't pop the same. Okay, so we're gonna go dimes. We got 4 nickels that we're gonna keep, 1 half decent 63, and the 3 war nickels, which will go into the stack. Okay, so in here, generic roll, Cincinnati, Armstrong, Coin Container Projects, Chicago, Western Bank Office Supply, Chicago, and then one of these weird looking ones. So we got 2 generic. We're going to go in this order. So we're going to go generic, modern, generic, old, then all the Armstrongs, then the 2 Chicagos are last. So this is what we're going to do. So let's see if we have a gold mine in dimes. Come on, get out of there. Paper is well loved on these. Okay, all I'm seeing so far is rosies. 99. Well, wait, I guess the easy thing to do is to attempt to scan the edges. I don't see any silver at all. Okay, so we'll give them a quick once through. See if there's any. What is that? Is that a strike through? What is that? Oh no, is that glue? Is that glue? I hate people. I thought I had something there. I was like, is that a strike through? No, it's glue. Somebody glued that onto something. Jerks. I'm not seeing any proofs or any chips. 80s, 70s, 72. $78, $85. Ooh, this one has that blue. It's a 2000. But the back's got that blue, like, toning to it. 77. Okay. Nothing in the dimes that I care about. So we will move on. Look at this. Look at this. I'm mixing coins because I can now. You know how liberating that is to just throw the coins in a bucket and I'm going to be able to go just dump them in a machine? I can't tell you. I can't believe it took me that long, but I can honestly say I've been into a decent amount of banks in my time up here where I'm at. I'd never seen or heard of anyone having the machine, so I guess I didn't really think about it. Turns out somebody does. Alright. Oh, wait. Edges. No. Nothing on the edges. Just gonna finger through them. Looking for proofs or like any clipped planchets or anything like that. Beat up road dime. Is that 75? Okay, nope, nothing. So that was generic 1, modern, and generic 2, old. So here's the other generic old one. Going by how we've been doing, I don't think designs went downhill after John Mercanti resigned. Yeah. And then, like, what they just did with the 2023 Morgans and Peace dollars was a little weird. Like, and I get it. I mean, okay, they're trying, maybe. But, like, the whole director strike thing that they didn't tell anybody about and nobody could order, and they just kind of did it. I mean, it's cool, sort of, but I don't know. Like, it depends on how many there were. It's got to be pretty limited. It's cool because probably hopefully a lot of like regular people got them, and not a whole bunch of like coin shops and dealers. But I don't know, the coin I don't really think is any different. It's just basically a piece of paper, and it says this was struck by Ventris Gibson. Like, unless you go send that out for grading immediately, you know, there's not really much difference between that and a regular coin. I don't know. Like, that one's a little weird to me. I just don't see it as 95. Oh! I put it up. But I got a waffle at the coin show the other day, and it's a 2004 Denver dime. My daughter saw it and had to have it. I paid. I paid for it. But it's really cool, and you can still make out the date and the mint mark, which is super cool. So I have so much stuff I need to get graded. It's ridiculous, but I'm probably going to send that in to get graded, because a waffle that you can say what the date is, what the mint mark is, I'm not going to say it's like immensely more valuable than one that you can't, but it's much like clipped planchets and things like that. Like, as long as you can see the date, it's worth more than if you can't. It just is. Because that way you can really attribute it to a place and time of where that occurred, right? So we're going to set these down here. And now we're getting into, well, this I guess is the second Armstrong roll, isn't it? So here we go. So far it's been not so awesome, but that can always change. We got a dirty one here, but other than that, I'm not seeing anything. So we'll check this dirty one. It's an 82 Philly. Really weird rim on that one. It's like thick, kind of on one side. Real thick on one side. Well, I guess it's just like an off-center strike a little, and like the rim's heavy on one side. So, nothing crazy. 77. No proofs or anything like that. Okay. What's going on in the chat? I didn't purchase the 2023 uncirculated Morgan and Peace, but I subbed for the proofs and reverse proofs. Okay, so let's see if the Mint does another limited director release. Yeah, for sure. I mean, the reverse proofs, what are they? Craig, what are they going for? It's because if I recall, at least on the secondary market, previous ones, it's about $400 for a graded set, if I recall. Or maybe I'm thinking $400 a coin. It's real thick on one side. Listen, Ruler, it was. It's true. Okay, we got a green coin. But in true fashion, I'm supposed to look at the edges. The green one looks clad. Everything looks clad. But we'll go through them. The green one's a 68. That looks like it's seen some stuff. All right. Another 68. Denver. Painted coin. Another 68. Why are they all 60? Oh, wait. Is that... Yeah, that's 68. Why are they all 68s? 68. There's a lot of 68s in this roll. That's strange. See? It's real thick on one side. I'm not lying. It's the same kind of thing. Very similar. So then on this side, it's relatively thin. But then if you get over here, it's just this really thick rim because it's off center struck just a tad. Make fun of me. Alright. Okay, we got 2 more rolls of Armstrong. And then we move on to the Chicagos and then on to the quarters. Okay, we got something that looks old in here, but probably not silver. It's probably just beat up. I don't see any silver. Dun, dun, dun. What's our beat up dime? 76. What is that? What is that? Jeez. All right. That's the other reason why I kind of like dimes, and why I'm gonna like dimes even more now, because you can get through them so quick because you're not really looking at them. Quarters and nickels take a long time because I have to look at pretty much every one. Well, nickels, not normally, I guess, because when I see the modern ones, for the most part, I just kind of throw those to the side. But for sure, quarters take forever to go through because they're all different. There's so much to look at. You have to really make sure that there's nothing there before you toss it along. I don't see any silver. It's okay. I never really expect it in dimes. And that way, when it does happen, it's a pleasant surprise. But dimes are lackluster for me. Alright, we're on to Chicago. Roll number 1, which is the Coin Container Products Company. That's like the roll company, I'm guessing. The bartender, amazed, asked... Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta get the whole joke. Ruler's doing his thing, so let me go. A man walks into a bar, orders a drink, and puts a small piano on the bar. He reaches into his other pocket and puts a tiny man down on the bar, who sits down and starts playing the piano. The bartender, amazed, asks him where he got them. The man replies that he got it from a genie in a magic beer bottle. The bartender was more than a little incredulous. The man says, "See for yourself," and sets an empty beer bottle on the bar. The bartender rubs it, pops out a genie, and asks the bartender what his single wish is. The bartender says, "I want 10 million bucks." The genie says, "So be it," and vanishes. Instantly, the bar is full of ducks, feathers flying everywhere, pooping on everything. After retreating outside, the bartender says to the man, "Wow, that genie has some bad hearing." The man replies, "Well, duh, do you really think I asked for a 14-inch pianist?" That's funny. That is hilarious. Oh, 14-inch pianist. Oh, okay. Edges, if I can get these back in order. Okay. I don't see anything. Man, bad day for dimes. $19.70, $75. I don't see anything amazing. We're going to move on. Okay, so this one is the Western Bank and Office Supply of Chicago, Illinois. Come on. What do you can't? Come on. Is it asking too much to get one of these old rolls like this and to just pour it out and it to all be like relatively untouched Merc dimes? Is that too much to ask? I don't think so, but apparently I am wrong. So let's see if we can get these back in order and scan the edges, or at least most of them. What are you? Ah, you got copper. Nope, I don't see anything. Scan through them. Some really nice dimes, that's cool. But not what we're looking for. 2004. Another dirty 68 for some reason. Alright. Well, that about does it for dimes. That was nothing. Nothing on dimes. But we got some cool old wrappers. We can take out of circulation and quit freaking people out. Because I see stuff like this, and I think there's probably something in there. Alright. So now we got 3 rolls of quarters. I need to take a break. Breathe. Take in some of the nicotine. Sip this beer that I've been nursing for 3 hours. Tape or no tape? I say we save the tape for last. All good things must come to an end at some point. Nothing lasts forever. Yeah. We're going to save the tape for last. I mean, come on. Realistically, we only have 3 rolls anyway. I already see some modern in here. We will scan edges. I don't see any silver. 82, New York, 68. Boom. Boom. I still don't have a Delaware spitting horse. I'm upset. Still have not found one. I've seen so many people post them finding one on coin groups and things. I have not. Oh, there's a really nice, pretty nice main. For having all those fields, it doesn't have a whole lot of chatter. The front's got a little bit in the fields, not much though. You'd be surprised. I challenge you to look up a coin, right? And pick your coin and really go through, like on the PCGS website, and look at like the fine examples. For instance, I was looking up Morgans the other day. a specific Morgan that I have, and I can show it to you. But I was looking up this Morgan, and after looking up the ones on PCGS, I'm fairly certain my Morgan falls somewhere in between like 63 and 65. It may even be higher. And I will show you this guy because I picked it up and I bought it. It's gorgeous. Okay. So let me bring you guys all the way up to the top. That should be pretty close. Okay, so here is, the light's not gonna play well with it, so you gotta forgive me. But it's an 1882 Morgan. Okay, it's an S. I'll turn the light up a little bit. I'll see if I can move it around a touch. There you go. So it's got a little chatter on the cheek. I think that's actually bag marks. She's just beautiful. She's in a capital style holder for a single coin. And on the reverse, it's got cameo. It's an S, if I didn't say that already. But on the back, it's actually got cameo. The fields have very little chatter going on. It's uncirculated. I mean, it's just crazy good looking. And after looking at this and looking at the ones on PCGS, I'm safely saying it's at minimum a 63. It could easily be a 65 because I'm no expert, but there's a chance it could be even higher than a 65 because I look at some of the nice coins in the top grades and I see flaws. I'm not saying that my coin doesn't have some either, like that, perceived bag mark on the cheek is not great, but aside from that, there's not much going on with this thing. And so I look at that, and if I were to be able to fetch like a 65 or maybe even a 66, I think this is like a $400 coin. So when I talk about the pile of stuff that I need graded, it's a lot of stuff like this. There's a lot of Morgans in there, Columbian Expo, a couple other things, but it's piling up quite fast. And I paid $100 for this, and as soon as I saw it, like I got to pick it up, I saw it was in a capital holder, saw the condition of it, and I asked him what he wanted for it, and he said, "Oh, that one's going to be $100." I immediately, yep, cool, yep, of course, because I could see that this thing is a very high grade Morgan, and so $100 is a small price to pay for a coin that could be worth, double that easily. So we'll see what happens when and if I ever get to sending it in with, I don't know, I might just have to go to like the fun show. I don't know if there's a limit on how much you can get graded at the fun show, but I got a freaking wheelbarrow of stuff that I need graded. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just go down there and get it all graded in person. Anyhow. Yes, thank you, Pammy Jones. It is super pretty. And that's what gets me when I'm out shopping a lot of times is coming across stuff like that you just, you're not, especially raw. I'm sure I could find really nice graded Morgans already. In, what was that, a 2, I think, 1882 S. I'm sure you can find really nice graded ones all over the place, but like raw in that condition, I was amazed that I even found it. And I'll tell you, the guy's a coin dealer. I'm not going to say he's not, but it's like a coin dealer slash jewelry shop. And I'm not going to say he doesn't have good stuff like that, but anybody having something like that just sitting there raw is hard to find anywhere. That they're not already asking an arm and a leg for. Because he could have easily told me that Morgan's worth $150, and he would have been correct. So when he said 100, I'm buying it all day long, because he had another one that was not as nice. I don't see anything on the edges. We're going to go through them. These really seem like run-of-the-mill. I'm not even going to go as far as to saying they're from like a collection or anything. There's been a couple like really nice looking ones. There's that gnat again, but nothing that looks like it's completely uncirculated or BU. Just kind of regular stuff. I haven't seen any. Well, that's a good point. I haven't seen any like really like 2000. Well, there's some early 2000s and stuff, but most of it's like Washington's and state quarters. I'm not seeing a whole bunch of the modern stuff. I haven't had to look for W's, I guess is what I'm saying. Like here's a really nice, pretty nice 2005 Minnesota. I mean, there's a little mark right there in the center of the field. On the back, the front's pretty good looking. Maybe some coin marks right there on the neck, but now there's marks on it. But that's the kind of stuff I'm seeing in here. I haven't seen one even W contender. Here's a really nice Denver, Indiana. You know, I have a bunch of the bicentennial. I'll set that aside. I have a bunch of state and national park rolls that I have gotten from previous collection dumps at the bank, and they're everywhere. But one of these days, I'm going to try to put them into some of the plastic containers that I bought. One of these days. Okay, so this is a good sign. Remember, our war nickels, our nickels, where we found the war nickels, right, were taped with two kinds of tape. There was masking tape and Scotch tape. This has the same thing going on. This is our last roll. I mean, I have other coins, but I'm probably going to call it quits after this. I have to mow the grass. Like I said earlier, I'm getting the roof done tomorrow, and they want the grass cut so that if they drop nails, they can easily pick them up with a magnet. I see some modern stuff. That looks disappointing. But okay, we're gonna go through them. Ada Mae Wong, 2022 Denver. Denver, Kentucky, Colorado, Philly, 1994, really nice Montana, Homestead, I don't see anything on the bucket. I don't see anything on the windows, and no snowy roof. Okay. Bicentennial, Denver, we'll set that aside. Very nice, Virginia. 72. Bessie Coleman, 2023. Okay, I've lost all hope for these rolls. If there's a Bessie Coleman in here, there's probably not much else. Ada Mae Wong, again. Yeah, I don't... Somebody must have got us and taped this one back up, because... What is that? No, it's not even a die chip. It's just like a Strike mark. Okay, 2023. Bessie Coleman. Woo! Well, that's a toner. Look at that guy. It's a California filly. Pictured Rocks, California. Yep, folks, I don't think we're gonna find any silver in here. That's oddly surprising. Cause oh wait! Oh snap! There is my first Eleanor Roosevelt. I have not found one up until now, and I find one in a frickin' roll that's taped shut. What a crock. Sorry. It is, though. I totally did not expect to find brand new quarters in a roll that looked like it had been, 2020, but it's a filly. That looked like it had been taped up. Why tape it? Whatever. Somebody pulled out all the silver and then threw some quarters in it and put it back at the bank. I'm not really keeping the women quarter sets. Maybe sometime later when they're closer to being complete. I'll put together a set or something. I'm not too worried about it now. Especially when I don't even think it's going to be done until like 2020. No, it's probably even further than 26. I think it's like 28, something like that. It's going to be a while. Really, Johnny? Really? Do I got to pay attention to what's going on chat words? Really? All right, so not too bad. Customer wrapped rolls can be good. In this case, not horrible, but not great. We did find some silver, 3 war nickels. We got a really nice 63 that's decent enough to keep. Couple bicentennials, I'll just throw them off to the side where I throw them, and then lots of really nice copper from the 60s and 70s. No wheat pennies. So this was obviously some kind of collection dump that must have been split up in another way, and then they must have realized, okay, wheat cents are worth something, and then the copper cents, whoever they consulted, if they consulted anybody, they must have just been told they're not worth much, if anything, so they threw them back at the bank. But they didn't check the war nickels, so that's great for us. What are those things like? About $1 a piece now? $1.50 a piece, maybe? Spot price is somewhere in the neighborhood of $25.05 right now. So that's not too bad. Yeah, that probably puts these at about $1.50 a piece, give or take. Not too bad. So about $5 there. Well, yeah, pretty close to $5 in silver, and a lot of fun, a lot of copper that we got to keep. So I think it was pretty decent. I'll still try to get customer wrapped rolls whenever I can, so that I can kind of look through them and see. Hopefully it's somebody else's collection dump. I hate to say that, but it's better that someone like us get those rolls than them just be thrown back into circulation, because if there is anything nice in there, it's almost certainly going to get destroyed or at least degraded between the time that it gets put back in circulation and another collector happens to come across it and take it back out of circulation. So it's unfortunate, but when you think about things in those terms, coins are kind of getting destroyed and degraded, all the time, especially things in collections that aren't specifically silver, that aren't as widely known. More of the, I guess you could say, just kind of run of the mill stuff is just getting kind of put back into circulation. And then how long is it going to be before it gets pulled back out again by somebody else? Or is it even going to be worth pulling out by the time somebody who knows what it is finds it? It's one of those things that's just going to continue to happen unless we stay vigilant and pull everything we can out of circulation. Well, we're past 3 hours, and I still have grass to mow and other things to do this evening. So, I appreciate everyone's time and attention. Thank you for hanging out with me. We got 2 giveaways, one for Guier. I will contact Flip, see where he's at with that package. If I think I can make it happen that way, I will, and if so, I'll let you know, Guier, what I decide to do. But other than that, Craig, I should be able to get that out this weekend. By this weekend. It's what? Tuesday today? Yeah, for sure by this weekend. I can get that out to you, and I do have more coins. I have a whole box of nickels. I have a whole nother box of pennies. And again, now that I can just take coins and dump them at the bank, and I even asked him. I put him through the paces when I was sitting there signing up with this bank manager. And I said, so if I bring in like $1,000 in coins twice a week, she was like, yeah, like absolutely no problem. If we have to change the bags, we have to change the bags. We'll come, blah, 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 blah. And I also asked about that too. I said, okay, so like you have the bags, right? Like they sit here for a couple of days before they come get them, right? And she goes, well, yeah, like a day or so, yeah, give or take, like they pretty much come pretty regularly to get them or whatever. And I said, so is it possible that if I asked and inquired, like, could I get, some of these bags? And she goes, like, assuming that we have them, like, they're here or whatnot, like, yeah, I don't see why not. Okay. So again, it's going to be very interesting, this new development in my coin roll hunting, and I think it should streamline a lot. So wish me luck on that endeavor, and hopefully it doesn't get spoiled too quick. But for now, it looks like I don't have to roll them back up anymore. I can just dump them, and that's going to be really helpful in terms of cycling. Now they don't do halves and they don't do dollar coins. You can't put those in the machine. So on those, I don't know, I guess just turn them back in. I guess the teller would accept them or whatever, but all the other coins have to go through the machine. Like literally they will not take coins, like unless it's, I think, like maybe like a handful or something, like they will not take any amount or rolled coins from you. Everything has to go through that machine, which is kind of interesting and nice for me. So anyhow, I appreciate everyone hanging out. We are going to wrap it up here so I can get some other stuff done. It's been a great time.